everyone, and welcome to another Tough Love Tuesday with Danny. I can't believe where the weeks go. It's Tuesday already. I'm really excited to dive in here for another quick 10-minute tough love chat with all of you. The things that I have queued up that I want to share with you week after week are powerful, and I hope that you've been enjoying this series over the last couple of weeks. Let me know in the comments below, obviously, any other topics or any thoughts or reflections that are coming up for you. Before I dive into today's tough love, obviously say hi. Let me know if you've watched this or if you're watching with me live or watching the replay. Let me know in the comments. Right before I came on live with all of you here, I had like 10 minutes between calls, and I thought, hey, I just ended up in the video section here in this group, and I felt called to scroll all the way back to the very first video that I ever did here in this group. And I'm remembering this way back from when I first started my business and helping coach women in this way. It was over 4 years ago. And it was around that first year of starting things up for myself that I started this private group. And it's been so much fun having this safe container on Facebook, this little private place for us to share and interact. And I highly recommend you go and check it out. It's super embarrassing, but I love it, and I want you to go look at it. The videos, like from my first couple months of this, it's so neat to go back and look. And that moment really showed me, wow, how far I've come. Not only my ability to speak, the power in what I'm saying. It just felt so forced and weird. I mean, I look back at those videos from 2016, 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. And I hardly recognize that version of myself. And it just goes to show how this inner work, the growth, the path that I'm on, we're all on, is we are growing even when we don't think we are. And so many things are changing year after year when we commit to our personal growth and continuing to improve ourselves as human beings, as friends, as mothers, all this stuff. So go check out my first videos from this group. Super hilarious, really embarrassing, and I would love for you to see them. But without further ado, let's dive into today's topic. I want to really blow this one open for you because I see this and it's really hitting home for me this week. Something that's going on in my personal life that I know I haven't shared a lot about here in this group, but my mom actually just had surgery last week. So she had a hysterectomy because they found cancer. And this was something that's evolved over the last couple weeks that we found out about. So it's been a little bit of an emotional roller coaster for me on the personal front. And I know a lot of you can probably relate with that. But what I'm seeing there, and I do a lot of reflecting, obviously, on my mom and her. And mom, if you're watching this, I love you, and can't wait to come over and cook for you tonight. But she's recovering well, everybody. Everything went well, by the way. But so, I did a lot of reflecting, and obviously, and she knows this, mom, if you're watching, that, she's my big motivation for doing what I do and living the lifestyle that I live, because I see directly in my genetic lineage the disease that waits for me if I don't look after myself. And I can see that with her. I can see, these health things coming up now that are directly linked to what we feed ourselves, and the way she's fed herself and the rest of my family and the rest of the world, leading to these chronic diseases. But what I want to share with you today, okay, and here's the tough love for all of you, is that if you're someone right now that's really struggling to, get a handle on your eating habits or lose the weight or get healthy, it's probably because you are waiting subconsciously or consciously for something really bad to happen before you finally make change. Change is hard. Okay, I want to say this again. You are waiting for something really bad to happen. You're waiting for a diagnosis. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop, for something very painful to happen before you will step up and make a change. And I realized this very quickly on in the work that I started doing with women. And it was really heartbreaking for me because I wish more people could see the world and their health and their life through the lens that I do, and seeing like, wow, I have so much power over making some small changes now so that I don't end up getting sick. But we live in a culture and a society where people wait to get sick before they make a change. And I want to call you out on this right now. And obviously, with so much love, if this is you, really just acknowledging this for yourself. This is definitely the type of culture and society we live in, but it doesn't have to be your future. There's a story that my business mentor actually shared with me, and it's a famous story. It's not his story. I don't know who originated. It's an old folk tale, but it really applies to this here because we as human beings are hardwired to avoid pain. And and we perceive, by the way, we perceive changing our diet, our lifestyle, our relationships, our jobs as painful. So we avoid it at all costs, right? Change is scary, pain is scary, avoid it. This is what our subconscious brain says. So until the pain of changing our diet, for instance, is less than the pain of staying where we are, we will never change. And this is how most people run their life. This is how you may be running your life right now. And that's obviously up to you, but it's such a disempowering way to see things when we can make small incremental changes now that aren't that painful to really avoid future pain. And it's such a backwards flip around that we need to do in our mind to really receive that. So the story that kind of hits the nail on the head, pun intended, you'll hear that in a second, is about, and I'll tell you the really quick version. It's there's a dog sitting on a porch next to his owner. He's sitting on the French porch, and the dog is howling in pain day in and day out. And there's a guy that moves in next door, and he hears this dog howling, and he thinks, oh, the dog must just be going through a phase or whatnot. So he just ignores it. And day after day after day, this dog howls and howls and howls. And eventually the guy that just moved in across the street comes over and sees the owner sitting next to the dog on the front porch and says, dude, why is your dog howling nonstop? And the owner says, well, he's sitting on a nail. And the guys go, okay, well, why doesn't the dog just sit up? Why doesn't he just get off the nail? And the owner says, well, because that's too painful. So the dog would rather sit on a nail that is painful than get off the nail and have a moment of more pain. And this is exactly what's going on with health and our eating habits, right? The pain of the couple months that it might take you to get off of sugar or to change your diet so you're eating whole real foods, right? The struggle, the learning how to cook, the new stuff, the short-term pain for the long-term gain is perceived as too high. Subconsciously, for most of us, that pain and that challenge is way too intimidating. So we stay right where we are. We stay sitting on our nail. We stay sitting overweight, unhealthy, full of shame and guilt and, low energy and all of these things that we know our bad diet and our lifestyle, our bad, habits and lifestyle are dragging us down, but we won't change until the pain gets bad enough. So this is the tough love that I want to give you today, because you can decide in this moment to face that short-term challenge, to face that little bit of turmoil and little bit of pain for your long-term health and vitality. And you will be so grateful that you did. Don't be that dog. Don't stay stuck on your nail because it's too painful. And the funny thing is, it's perceived pain. It's not real pain. Changing your diet, getting off sugar is actually not that hard. It actually doesn't have to be that difficult, especially with the right support and community. We perceive it to be the end of the world. If I have to give up sugar, oh my goodness, that's the worst thing that could ever happen to me. We perceive this future pain, which doesn't even really exist. It's just made up in our brain. And then we stay stuck right where we are. So do not be that dog. Do not continue sitting on your nail. If you know, I mean, the fact that you're watching this, I'm willing to bet that you care about your health and you want to make a change. You just haven't found the right way yet. And this could be very well subconsciously what is holding you back. You're waiting for something really bad to happen, because I guarantee if you got diagnosed with cancer or COVID or diabetes, you would change. Countless story, heart attack, stroke, people who have serious debilitating diseases creep up on them, and then they make a change. Then they go, wait a second, okay, I should probably change my diet and maybe move my body and hydrate and change what I'm doing. So don't let it get to that point, because let me tell you this, it is so much easier to make the change now and so much less painful before you get to that place. So there's the tough love and inspiration I wanted to share with you today. I sincerely hope that you're excited to get up off that nail and get the support that you need to go through that change and whatever you're working towards. Whatever, I mean, our goals are also different. But I really am so hopeful for you that this hit home and that you will no longer let that be something that holds you back, and you will start reframing the way that you look at making change in your life and not hold yourself back anymore. So there you have it. Another quick little note before I wrap up. I want to share with you all this weekend is the next upcoming monthly batch cooking party, and you're all invited. So don't forget to come and check that out. I'll post the link to that below this video so you can come and get registered. It's this Sunday, 2 hours. We're cooking up some amazing meals. I've got the recipes ready for all of you who register, and come and join some fun on Zoom. I mean, sometimes cooking can be so boring and lonely by yourself. So let me teach and show you and come and interact with some other incredible women in our community. And I hope to see you there. So I'll post that link below. Come and register for Sunday. And I will see you all again next Tuesday for the next Tough Love Tuesday. All right, everyone. Have a great week.